Swag, a word that fell out of popularity in the early 2010s, but don't worry, Bieber is here to bring it back. A word that Bieber also famously whispered in his 2012 hit Boyfriend. For those who lived through it, it will likely call upon thoughts of Justin Bieber's bad boy R&B era. Justin Bieber's music has always been heavily indebted to R&B and its millennial icons. But there was a point in time where he actively broke away from the Euro influence on his music and completely attempted his hand at an R&B and hip-hop record. It wasn't released as a proper album, but it feels like one. It's sonically cohesive, it has some genuine R&B bangers, All That Matters and Heartbreaker are highlights. And though it wasn't given a proper release by his label, perhaps they thought there was too much at stake with Bieber's reigning pop stardom, it's an album that Justin genuinely seemed passionate about, and a foreshadowing of some of his later more mature works. Prior to that, there was also deep cuts like Right There with Drake. Even 2020's Changes, which was negatively received. There was a moment where Bieber blasted the Grammys for not including him in the R&B categories. In many ways, Bieber has always yearned for R&B and hip-hop cred. He even nabbed a #1 single with Peaches featuring two young R&B stars, Giveon and Daniel Caesar. Justin Bieber's attempts at attaining R&B and hip-hop credibility can often come across very desperate. But after all, he is someone that got discovered singing R&B music on YouTube. So I do believe he has a genuine love for R&B and hip-hop music. He's never been shy of showing it in his collaborations either. One of his signature hits, Baby, is graced with a now iconic verse from Ludacris. Much like the Journal's record, Swag, his surprise release album, comes at a very contentious and confusing point in Justin Bieber's career and personal life. He severed ties with long-term manager Scooter Braun. He's had constant random posts and rants online, rightful but albeit extremely funny arguments with the paparazzi due to his incorrect and seemingly obtuse usage of verbiage.
You're not getting it. It's not clocking to you. It's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business, is it?
He even changed his Instagram name to Lil Bieber. The album artwork to Swag looks like it might have been influenced by Kendrick Lamar. One thing for sure is Justin Bieber is upset. And he's voiced that a lot on social media. He has a lot to be upset about. After all, he was exploited as a kid. And those effects don't magically fade away because you're an adult. This moment feels like Justin Bieber's very own blackout moment in practice. But does the music actually live up to its brazen rollout? Well, the album is not nearly as brazen or confrontational as the rollout might allude to it being. It's a very typical Justin Bieber record. This time around, it's very minimalist, encoded in 80s and Michael Jackson influence. The album begins with All I Can Take, and Bieber doing his very best MJ impression. It sounds like it would be a decent homage if Justin didn't absolutely drown his voice in effects that make him sound like a complete featherweight. And honestly, following the opening track from track 2 to track 6, outside of the 80s inspired R&B jam on the track Go Baby, the songs blend together. They're very stripped back, guitar driven songs that talk about love in a way that we've heard Bieber talk about love a million times. What would I do? What would I do if I didn't love you, babe? He repeats in the chorus of Yukon. Justin Bieber's a great emotive singer, but he has definitely not mastered the stripped back, almost hookless approach, even more so because the lyrics aren't saying anything, and the production, for the lack of better words, isn't interesting. The album is interjected with these various interludes by Drewski that sounds like two friends goofing around together, but they feel very random in the midst of this album. One where Drewski is telling Justin he's black, and Justin responds by saying thank you, another where he's telling Justin how to properly use AAVE, and there's a continuous narrative in all the interludes of Drewski encouraging Bieber to take a hit of a Black and Mild. Utterly pointless nonsense, though endearing to some extent. On therapy session, Justin talks about his relationship with the internet and how some things he does gets mischaracterized because of who he is. A hint of a personal topic that Bieber is willing to speak openly about, or for some reason never transforms into a song, let alone a good one. Sweet Spot is a highlight. Justin channels his inner Prince. Yeah, it's a sweet spot. I lick it sticky in the sheets. I'll make your sheets. Just give me anything to eat. It's a sweet shop. The lyrics do not sound that great on paper, but it's a catchy chorus. It has a very funny Sexy Red feature that might even make a listener laugh out loud. Put that dick in my ass, make my heart stop, she says. It's a non-serious bop in the best way. And Sexy Red does inject some much needed personality onto the album. The album ends with an interlude by gospel singer Marvin Winans, expressing Christian values and his love for the Lord. At this point, misplaced and random interludes are starting to become a trademark of a Justin Bieber album. I'm sure many of you remember the random Martin Luther King interlude on his album Justice. The album does not really omit swag, it doesn't omit charisma, and don't get me wrong, Justin Bieber has a fair amount of it when he wants to, but this just feels like another I Love My Wife album. Which is fine, but I just wish the songs were better. And he hints at having a lot on his mind about how he's perceived, but he never expands upon it. Justin Bieber feels incredibly sincere. He's a fantastic motor. It's a shame that his lyrics and production have struggled to really support it with a lot of his adult work. 2013's Journals might be a bit of a mixed bag in totality, but seriously, one song from that record has more swag and charisma than this entire album. Don't get me wrong, swag is far from bad, but it's limp on highlights and feels like it's just there. Justin isn't saying anything we haven't heard, the writing is subpar, the hooks, when there are actually hooks, don't stick, the production is sparse and uninteresting. It's not as overtly commercial as his signature music, but it's not left field either. It is just by the very definition a middling album. I don't think anything on this album could be considered Justin Bieber's best work or a highlight of his career. Journals wasn't given a proper release as an official album, but Swag was. And to me, Swag feels more like a mixtape of unfinished and unpolished ideas combined with some venting. His last couple of albums have ranged from disappointing to okay, and Swag continues the streak of just okay. One thing you can usually depend on Bieber for is a good single. But no song on Swag, even the best ones, are as gripping as any of his previous singles. I really wanted to go on this album being pleasantly surprised, and seeing if we'd have any new exciting turns. Given he's parted ways with his long-term management, and he seems more intent on doing his own thing. But I'm met with a Bieber record that makes me feel the most apathy of any album he has ever released. The crowning jewel of his career thus far is still 2015's Purpose album, and he has yet to really produce a body of work that can comfortably sit alongside it. And I think it has all the best aspects of Justin Bieber. Personal enough, supremely catchy, great vocal performances, and a sonic evolution for Bieber at that point in time. I don't mention Purpose to say that every Justin Bieber record should be exactly like Purpose. I mention it to show his strengths and to say, as an artist, Justin Bieber is capable of so much more.